No Limit Texas Hold'em is the Cadillac of poker.
You don't happen to have $8,000 on you?
Oh, no, we don't use money in heaven.
It comes in pretty handy down here, bub.
Oh,
You just won $1 million!
You're making a run at it, aren't you? Rolling up a stake and going to Vegas.
Thursday morning, and I am headed to Los Angeles once again. So usually I wouldn't make trips this frequent to LA. Usually it's like once a month or so. But the WPT 500 is going on at the Hawaiian Gardens in LA, and they have a couple events I want to fire. So there's a 40K bounty tournament going on today. That's it's like $230 with the add-on. So it's a $230 buy-in, and it's $50 bounties, and it's a 40K guarantee tournament. That looks pretty fun. And then there's also later on in a few days, there's a $1 million guaranteed. It's a multi-day, multi-flight event. It's only a $565 buy-in, so that looks pretty good. So that would be like, you know, $250K up top, somewhere in that range. And so yeah, looking forward to it and going to get on the road. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I should do is, instead of the montage thing of like driving to LA and all that, I should just do the Mimi thing. I should just like snap and be there. All right, 1, 2. What the fuck? So successfully made it to LA, well, more specifically Hollywood. Staying with one of my friends from Twitch Poker, actually, Alex Keating. Not Alex Keating. Alex Keating's brother, Kyle Keating. He streams poker on Twitch, Keats Tweets, you should check him out. Also plays poker for a living, and pretty cool guy. And saved me an Airbnb. Oh, good, yeah, it was nice.
Welcome back to the palace, dude. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you, dude.
Yeah, so...
We lost a big flip when we were on the phone with you, and then we lost,
First break of the tournament right now, slightly above starting stack, not really any hands. Had really good table, really good tournament. Pretty good structure here. Really nice room. I've never been here before, so really nice place to get the air. It's a huge room. You got like a volcano and stuff. Okay, well, not going that awesome. Still in, but barely. Didn't really see one single hand in the past hour and a half, past the levels. Just nothing really going for me at all. So dwindled down to 17K now, which is starting stack. And so we're going to 500, 1,000. So have 17 bigs coming back from break. Get a double, could be looking at a deep run, and if we don't get a double, then we're looking at a nice drive home. Hopefully, I'll be still in it at next break. This is a parking lot, and this is where I make my exit, because basically folded for 4 hours and lost a flip. Had pocket tens in the small blind with 16 big blinds. Middle position open to 3,000. The button called 3,000. I move all in for 16,100. The middle position folds, button calls. Shows ace king, ace on the flop, and we don't improve. And we are, no, can't say that either. We're done. That's it. Game over. So.
Happens to everyone. Time to time, everyone goes bust. You'll be back in the game before you know it.
it's Tuesday morning and ended up busting out of the tournament and like 12 from the money or so. So that was pretty unfortunate. Was running pretty decent. I thought I played the tournament pretty well. It was, ups and downs and like you normally have, and then got into a pretty big pot where I ended up running aces into ran ace king into aces, and the guy had like 10 bigs and I had 20. So then after that I was down to about 5 bigs and jammed ace queen suited on the gun, folded around to the big blind who called with ace 8-6 off, and he found an 8, and that was how we went out. I also played a $100 satellite to the same tournament. Busted out of, it was so $100 to win 565 and about 1 in 6 paid, so it was pretty decent. There's 10% rake, and it was pretty good. Just 15-minute levels, so like turbo structure, and like ace king didn't hold against jacks in the big pot, and that was it for that one. So I ended up breaking the tournaments and also taking a loss of like $320 in cash games here.
You get
so
nothing.
That really wasn't the
You
plan
lose.
out
Good
here.
day, sir.
The plan was really to really just come out here and grind a lot of cash and make money and pad the bankroll, and kind of the opposite happened. Eventually you just take an L, and so take an L, and so it's it. And poker players don't win all the time, so that's it. So I'm going to hang out with my buddy and get probably head out and head back to Vegas.
Whatever. Get in it and drive me far away from here.
It takes guts climbing back in that ring knowing you're going to take a beating.
Well, I did a pretty terrible job of recording my hands in California. Wasn't too many interesting hands, just being on the wrong side of coolers and then not running and just being pretty card dead. So I won't really go over too many of those, but I did promise more poker in my last vlog, so I'm here at Bellagio putting in a little session. And so thought I'd go over a few hands that I played. First hand was, we have ace 8 of clubs in the big blind, and folds around to the button who limps in, and the small blind completes, and I check. I think checking here is okay, but there's definitely some merit to raising. It's likely to be the best hand and can certainly be profitable with the raise. But I decided to check this time, so 3 ways to the flop. Flop is fairly decent. Flop is jack of clubs, 8 of clubs, 4 of spades. So I flop the nut flush draw with 1 over. And I go ahead and lead out here for $10. I think checking is also fine, but I think leading out here with the nut flush draw and 1 over is totally okay in a 3-way limp pot. And so the button calls and small blind folds. So we go heads up to the turn, and then the turn brings in an offsuit 8. So we do pair. Decided to check. The button puts out a bet of $20. And I go ahead and flat. I don't see much merit in raising here with an 8. We're still definitely have enough never folding, and I don't think the hand's good enough to raise, so I think check call is pretty standard on this turn. Turn is pretty agreeable. Turn is the deuce of clubs, so we make the nut flush. And now it's a question of getting value from worse. Specifically like targeting like Jack X holdings, which I think our opponent is most likely to have. And this opponent in particular had been fairly tight passive. He tended to limp call a lot of the hands, wasn't very aggressive pre-flop. And so I think against a normal player that's just normal rec player, I think a sizing of like 35 to 45 is pretty good here as a value bet to get rid as a jack. I size it slightly smaller than that because tight passive players just don't usually like to pay off big value bets, and especially when it can be a scary river. So I definitely don't want him to fold and squeeze out a little bit of value. So I bet on the smaller side of $30. He thinks for a while and he calls. We show, he shakes his hand in disgust, and we take the... So a few hands later, we pick up ace-king in middle position. And under the gun makes it $10. This is the same villain that paid us off with the flush, with the rivered flush. And so he raises a 10, under the gun +1 flats. I think 3 bets in order, put in a 3-bet to $40. Folds back around to the under the gun who calls, and the under the gun +1 calls as well. So 3 ways to a flop. We see a flop of ace 6-4 with 2 diamonds, and I do not hold a diamond in my hand. So fairly coordinated board, but expect the top to be still the best hand here a lot. Checks to me, and I make a C-bet of $45. I don't think I have to bet too large here on this kind of flop. The under the gun calls, and the other person folds, so we're heads up to the turn. The turn is relative brick. It's an offsuit 7, so he checks once again. I thought we had the best hand on the flop. I think we continue to have the best hand on the turn here a lot of times. And so I think we can still continue to get value from either flush draws or worse aces. So go ahead and bet $65. I'm not even finished putting out my bet until the player jams all in for about $190. And stacking off with top here, I think in a vacuum, stacking off with like top for over 100 big blinds is probably a mistake, but poker's not in a vacuum, and this player seemed he was pretty kind of playing a little bit tilted after the hand he hit. So we make the call, and the river is a queen. He shows ace jack, and so we take a nice pot there, and that's about it. After that, he got up and left, and then 2 other players got up and left. Table essentially broke, and I think I'm just going to call it a night here. It's a little short, hour-and-a-half session. Bought in for 3, cash out $5.58, so pretty decent win there. Won more than I did in California, but I mean, if I won $1, I'd win one in California. So, nice to get back in Vegas and book a little win first time back. You can tell poker's about to really kick into high gear in Vegas, and I'm really looking forward to it because this is my first full summer in Vegas. I've visited Vegas for like a couple weekends in the summer, but never been out here for a full summer, and I've heard it's really awesome, so really looking forward to that. And so yeah, that's going to be the poker hands, but stick around, because right after this, I do have a surprise video clip that should be pretty big news to the vlogging community in general. It's already out there in like some comments, but it should be. I think you just have to watch the clip and see. I'm not going to spoil it. So
D-Val wants me to get the Bike King on the Vloggers game. Hey, he knows how to get a hold of me. Have him send me his info. I've got 2 seats left in that game. July 26th, going to be a 5-5 no limit with Andrew Nemi, Brad Owen, Jeff Boski, Poker Kraut, and others.